I'm Shawna Lee. This is Infinity Readings, and this is the reading for Leo for spirituality for January of 2026. The first card that we have for you, Leo, bringing up the rear of the reading here, is Death and Rebirth, the 8 card. That usually means the beginning of something special. And they said special. Yeah, like there's something glowing here that we want to be prepared to be prized too. The way they give it to me. It's like we're embarking on something that we're going to prize quite highly in the future is what I get. Now, this is our past card. So let's go to the present here and see what's shaking. The card that we get there is 7 of Air. Truth. Okay. So, yeah, there's kind of a sense of us overcoming or changing or mutating our ways a little bit to bring us into a clearer form to accept the truth. I feel like the knowledge here that we may be seeking and whatever is more in the truth line or in the vein of truth. For our soul, for our heart, for our spirituality, it's all in alignment here is what I got. So it's really good. A very powerful position. Not only are we may even be prizing different things in our life differently than we have in the past. It's kind of the sense they're giving me. As we move in the future, interesting energy for Leo. It's quite deep. The 3 of Water. That's about going forward fearlessly into that which, we have passion for, and also being guided to do so. We're guided to go in this way. I feel like we're upon it in the present because this energy is going back to the present here. And it's saying, yes, we are at the crux point here of figuring out what means most to us. So good energy, good start. We'll get into the pulp tarot. They're pretty raw. So the 8, the Death and Rebirth. Again, in the past, I feel like we're overcoming the mundane and moving into more of a passionate, centered area here where we know what motivates us to go forward. The pulp card that we get on top of that Death is the 7 of Cups. So in the past, we may have had a lot of options at us, and that may have actually muted us down to picking the right one. I feel like all these options we had in the past were kind of not of our liking. Okay? That's what they said, of our liking. So it's like we had a lot of outlets we could have taken, and we may have kind of flirted with a few of them. But now as we go forward, we feel more impassioned, a deeper sense of options that could be awake to us here. So on top of that 7 of Air, what do we get there? Oh, the Page of Wands. That can be about exciting news. And again, that whole excitement and passion bringing up where we want to go. We've discovered a passion that we want to go forward with. It may have been hidden from us in the past, or we may have been dragged down in the mundane to the point we didn't see it properly. This is like a discovery of a passion and we want to go forward with. Good reading. Good reading to end on, Leo. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. So on top of the 3 of Water, again, being guided. I feel in the future, we're going to look back to where we are now and see things differently. But nonetheless, on top of that 3 of Water, what do we get? Ooh, 7 of Pentacles. So the 7 of Pentacles is always about a shitload of money that comes in. Again, I'm not a card reader. I throw the rule book out and I go with what my instinct we label these as. This person has worked hard for all that money. Now she's deciding where she's going to put it. So whatever it is that creates this passion, I feel it helps you gain your financial abundance in the future. And I feel like you'll be at a point here where you'll be able to make better decisions more freely and more not like it has to go to the bills kind of thing. I feel like we're going to be overabundant in that way where we can actually spend frivolously, but I don't think the Leo's going to do that. I think they're going to be very sensible about how, and that would be a good thing, good advice, about how they kind of save this money or whatever it is that they decide to invest in. It's going to be along the lines of this passion. Interesting. So an abundance coming through here, and we may even catch wind of it right now, or be on the verge of bringing it into our. It's an exciting moment because we're bringing it into our future. So let's get to the last row here. We got the Metatron cards on top of that. Seven of Cups. Again, a lot of options in the past, but I don't feel us being excited about many of them. And in fact, I feel like we had an internal change that shifted our passion into a way where now we know where and what we want to do and directions we want to go in. So on top of that Seven of Cups, we get yin yang, law of balance and duality. This can symbolize, finding an opposite in life. And it may be the opposite direction that we were going in the past. We may have been kind of going down a road that wasn't quite, it just didn't click in, and we recognize that. And now we're doing things different. Yin yang, depending on what other cards we get here, might summon other energies. So on the Page of Wands, again, there's exciting news, and it's all in truth and knowledge. We may have to learn a few things here, having to go forward, but I feel it's already ingrained. Most of it's ingrained in us. It's just an expanding of that knowledge. And I feel like there's exciting news. Why? Because we're going in exciting directions, and it's all working in a field that is creating more passion within us. So on top of that Page of Wands, we get the octahedron, integration and air. Now, when we're talking about integration, that's we're integrating. Like we may even be at a point in our life where, our destiny's coming to sit right in front of, like, they're showing me someone in the office and somebody comes in the door and flaps like a new book open wide to something that, thrills us, and we just start reading, and it's an interruption of the mundane, right? You throw in that book and it's like, oh, where'd you get this? Blah, blah, blah. And then all the, exciting energy. And I feel like maybe this literally would happen to you. Somebody threw an idea by you and you just, that would make sense. And you never came up with it yourself, but you don't care because it's still a passionate energy. You want to go forth. You're going to go there. Octahedron is integration. So, and we are keeping our checks and balances in here, by the way. Okay, let's go to the future here. Might be short and sweet, this one. The Three of Water, again, looking back on our life, we will understand more highly how we were guided here than we do at this point, or feel we are at this point. I feel we're being highly guided, highly protected, highly veiled universally. That's why I feel like it's almost not karmic. It's fated. This is fated to happen. This idea that comes across, this direction you fled off into, it's all meant to be. It is written, they said. So it will happen, and it's exciting. It's something you want to do. It's not in the mundane where we came from. So again, 3, looking at the past, being guided. 7 of Pentacles, there may be an abundance of money here that comes in, and we are going to think long and hard about how we invest that in our future. On top of that, we get the Ankh, eternal life, sexuality. Yin Yang is a very powerful symbol. And what I was saying earlier is, like, if I get the either Divine Feminine or Divine Masculine card or Divine Union card, that would change the whole thing as to the excitement coming from, a partnership. But eternal life and sexuality is about the masculine and the feminine coming together. I don't know if we're willing to accept that at this point. I think we're just building on, like, either business feelings or having to do with our own life. So very single-minded in the mentality. But let's go to the Fortune card and see what happens here. The Star. Hard times are over. Look forward to an abundance of happiness, enthusiasm, and positivity. Okay. So what I'm getting more from this Star card is like, we really came from a rough patch. It's really what I'm getting. And it may have been over a partner, and it may have been beyond a partner. Like, we may have morphed out of a relationship, and it wasn't necessarily that we had to get over the relationship, but more so our own self-worth and our own way forward, how, we couldn't find our passion. This kind of a thing, I feel, is what we're overcoming at this time in the present here. And again, if it doesn't make sense right now, wait a month or so and look at it again, because that it takes that long for that energy to kind of settle. I've noticed when I look at my readings as well, I can read it then, it means something, and then like 3 weeks down the road, you can read it again, and it means something else, or listen to it. So be aware of that. Eternal life and sexuality. I feel like the eternal life is speaking back to this blueprint that you have. This is supposed to happen here and now, and that is why we're feeling so emphatically about it. There's such a verve we're getting from this. We're getting energized from all these ideas and It's because this is meant to be. It may even be a process having to do with overcoming the hardship, getting into fresh energy, this kind of stuff. This year is going to create that for a lot of people in a lot of good frequencies, and you just will continue to grow in that way. So I look forward to that for you, Leo. Being the last of the readings, that's a good note to end on. It's very short, this one, I think. We just got past the 10-minute mark here, but but it's good. It's good. We're impassioned by something here, and the advice is, we're being guided, and just keep going down that trail. As long as you feel that passion, that's where you need to go. And the star is here overlooking you and saying, the hard times are over. Looking forward to enthusiasm and positivity. And I get a lot of that here. Enthusiastic. It's letting that fire burn for the Leo, which they haven't felt for a long time. So good to hear that. Take care, Leo. Happy New Year. Hopefully this helps you as you move forward. Take care, have fun, and be kind.